Hello, welcome back to Tarot Playdate. Did that feel like a really long 2 weeks, even though we had Tarothon in the middle of it? And effectively, we had a Playdate last week. It was just a little something different, something new, maybe a sign of things to come after we get through all 78 cards of the RWS deck. Let me say some hellos to people. Jennifer Ball in here first thing. Good morning, my friend. Hello, Jamie. Hi, Wendy. Shane running around this morning. Not sure if you made it back from your cup of coffee yet, but I know you'll be here, even if you can't hear me talking right now. Good morning, Kathy. Let's see, who else do we have here? We have Sandra here. Hi, Sandra. Brenda's here. We have John joining us for his first tarot play date, but I remember seeing you at Tarothon. White Tree Tarot is here. Did I say hi to Wendy? I think I did say hi to Wendy. Beth Gill is here. Hi, Beth. Bastet777 is here. We have Gracia and Selkie. Hi, Selkie. I'm thinking about you a lot right now. Let's see. We have Chris Kelly. Hi, Chris. Julia's here. Oh, no, the chat jumped. I lost it. Come back. Okay, wait. All right. It's not too far. I've got this. I think I said hi to Julia. Sean. Hi, Sean. In here right from the get-go. Elizabeth, hello, finally Tarot Playdate. Kimberly, hi Kimberly. Hanging out in my neighborhood, what, this weekend? A couple days ago? Sometime recently. Let's see, who else do I have here? Brant, hi Moon Baby. Aquarius Owl, Sophie Moon, hello. Maharet's here. Oh my gosh, okay, Jonathan Daly is here. Aloha, Cerulean Tarot, hi, Christina, Patrice, Robin. Okay, we're flooding in now. Let's see, we have, is it Ira or Ira Marie? Welcome. I think that's the first time I've seen you pop in here. So sorry if I said that wrong. We have Naomi. We have my chat jumping again. Oh, goodness. Okay, there. I'm right there. We have Robin, I hope I said hi to you, but hi, Robin. If I didn't, Wiccan222 is here. Hello. And Vicky from New Mexico. Only what? Is that an hour ahead? 2 hours ahead from here on the West Coast. Rose, hello. Meme Essence 818, hello. Listening but can't watch. Hey, that's okay. Hi, Jen DQ. I know what that means. Dropsy Queen. Although I've been pretty good lately. Queen Ria Van W, first time here from Vienna, welcome. I will, because we have so many new people coming in who were at Tarothon and maybe have found me more recently, I will go over sort of how we do Tarot Playdate again today. Butterfly Magic with Hot Tea, hello. Let's see, did I get everybody at Jackie's here? Hi, Jackie. I think I've almost made it. Becca's here. Hi, Becca, nice to see you. All right, Emily is here. Hi, Emily. I hope I said hi to everybody. If I missed you, give me a wave and I will make sure. Hi, Val. Nice to see you. All right. Suppose we should get going here. Simon made it. Okay. You know, chew your food, son. It's okay. We'll be here for about 90 minutes. So it's all right. So 2 weeks ago. Oh, Zelita, hello. 2 weeks ago, we had our tarot play date. We had the Four of Swords. Hi, Tammy. Welcome in. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of give you all the lay of the land here, is we will talk a little bit about the last card we draw. Probably not much, but if anybody, while I'm babbling at the camera here, wants to share their experience that they had with the Four of Swords over the last 2 weeks, that would be great. Okay, I am glad I said that right. Ira Marie, welcome. So what we like to do here at Tarot Playdate is we cover a different card every week. It is random. So we have an ever-shrinking deck that I shuffle, and then we pull a card. But before we do that, what we do is we actually gather a list of 5 questions that we will use or that we will answer with this week's card. Now, when I originally started it, I have to admit, I was just thinking, okay, let's just think of random questions that we could answer with a single card. And it really has evolved into questions that people really want to see answered for the coming week, maybe about recent weeks or days. And so people really bring those questions. So when I do ask for those questions, if you can type them in all caps so that I make sure to see them, I usually take them in first come, first serve as I see them. And sometimes I miss them and I'm really sorry. If you want to get my attention, please put it in all caps or tag me. And we will, I'm going to pause on a comment here that I saw. Patrice, I see your comment. I'm going to pause my chat here for a second and come back to that. I also like to pull 5 random decks from my collection, and we will look at the card of the week in each of those different decks so that we can see a variety of interpretations of that card, and we actually use those cards to answer the 5 questions. At the end, we also do cover reversals or blocked energy for the card. And then we like to give you activities to take with you throughout your week that we can then share in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group if you're a member of that. If not, please feel free to join and all that good stuff. So I'll keep going kind of through it as we go. So if you are new here, you'll pick up on it really quick. But the whole idea is that this is interactive. So anybody who's new here, thank you for coming. Anybody who's been here before, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. So I have a comment here from Patrice asking if we can please start with a moment of shared silence to acknowledge George Floyd's memorial service today and to acknowledge our Black brothers and sisters everywhere. And I think that is a really wonderful idea. I actually, now I'm going to admit my lack of knowledge here. I know there was a memorial service earlier this week. I didn't know there was another one today. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. So I hope you all won't mind. This is really important. There's a lot going on in the world. I don't want to gloss over it. I don't want to ignore it. I want to address it. I want to be a voice and I want to be an ally. I don't want to bring necessarily attention to me, but I do want to raise voices, but I do want to take this moment. So thank you, Patrice, for suggesting it. I hope you all will join me. I'm going to watch the clock here and let's go ahead and take a few moments of silence. We'll probably do until my clock changes. So anybody who's willing to join me in this, I really appreciate it. And then we'll get on with Tarot Playdate. Let's take a moment of silence to acknowledge what's going on in the world, acknowledge our Black brothers and sisters. Black lives matter, brown lives matter, Indigenous lives matter. Let's take a moment. All right, thank you. It wasn't a very long moment, but I hope that was enough for us to be able to reflect and pause for a moment. All right, let's get on with Playdate, shall we? All right, I'm probably really behind in the chat now that I stopped to do that, but thank you if you participated. I really appreciate it. Thank you for suggesting it, Patrice. All right, okay. We've got some hearts, we've got some black, I love you guys. I really love you guys. All right, let's get on with Tarot Playdate, shall we? Hello, Kristen. Hello, Brenda. Anybody new who's come in, I really appreciate it. Okay. While I am shuffling the cards, the first thing I would like to do is gather a list of 5 questions. So if you have a question you would like answered with our card of the week, please pop it into the, why am I shuffling? I can't shuffle and write questions down at the same time. Okay, I got my tea, I swear. Okay. Aquarius also said 4 of Swords came out in force this week for me and paired with the Hangman 3 times. Yeah, so let's talk about the 4 of Swords and people give me questions. Does anybody have a question they would like to have answered? I'm ready with my pen. I'm staring at the chat. I'm looking at you. It has. I'm out of practice, Elizabeth. It has been too long. I don't know my own routine, that's for sure. Okay, but it's okay. We can get back on track. You guys will keep me going. You've done this before, right? So, um, all right, we've got Christina. How can we stay connected with loved ones this week? Thank you, Christina, for giving us a question. How can we stay connected with loved ones this week? All right, from Jonathan, we have, even though it's not in all caps, you tagged me, so thank you for that. We have, how can we support those in need this week? I like that. Those, and I like to read out loud as I write, so you don't think I'm ignoring you. Those in need this week. All right, we've got Patrice. How can we support the Black Lives Matter movement? What is ours to do? Yes, thank you. I have to be honest, if somebody didn't bring this question, I was going to bring this question. So it was going to happen this week, folks, and I hope that you all understand and support that. But if you don't, we're doing it anyway. Support the Black Lives Matter movement. And I like that you added that, what is ours to do? Now, ours may depend on your perspective, right? So we'll want to read that card in that way when we get to it. What is ours to do? All right. Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. Okay. Okay, I think I see some questions in lower caps. So let me see if I can scroll back and get these. How can I grow in my meditation practice? So John, that's a great question. I don't know if everybody here meditates. So is there another way we can phrase that to make it just applicable to everyone? Maybe spiritual practice? Is that maybe a good way to rephrase that? I don't want to hijack your question, but let me know what you think about that. Brenda, how can we support our spirits this week? Do you mean like our spirits as in our mood? Our spirits as in the beyond? Let's see. Spiritual practice is what you were thinking, Shane. Okay, why don't I do that one here? So, John, I hope that's okay. All right, so I have John and I have Jonathan, and I need to keep you guys separate. I can do this, though. I know which one's which. I'm scrolling through my chat here. How can we support our... Wait, no, that wasn't it. I lost it, John. Oh, how can I grow? How can I grow? I'll tell you what, I'll do, how can I grow, or we, in our meditation / spiritual practice? How about that? Then we cover kind of the gamut there. Okay, that's my fourth question. And we need one more, which is probably in here somewhere. I just need to find it. Okay, we have, how can we support the Black Lives Matter movement? Okay, you like that, John. Okay, good. And then Brenda said, how can we support our spirits this week? Oh, spiritual practice works for that as well. Is COVID-19 over? It seems like it's over. Oh, Zalita, I think I know the answer to that without the tarot. And unfortunately, I don't think it's quite over. Okay, so Laura, you're asking, how can we deal with our racist family members? Do you think we can incorporate that into, how we can support the Black Lives Matter movement, or do we think that's a separate question? I'm open to thoughts. If we think that's a separate question, I can put that down. If you guys have one more question for me, that would be great. I know it's busy. Oh, no, I already got that one. Y'all are quiet. Usually the chat starts going crazy. Is everybody blank? What's going on? Okay, Shane says I feel like those tie together. So I'm gonna add Lori to this one too, and Lori dealing with racist family members or friends. I know a lot of us have been in this position this week. I need one more question. What do finances look like this week? You know what, Linda? I'm going to take it. These are great questions. I think everybody's like, yeah, we just want answers to those things. But I will take it, Linda, because, a lot of us are really in these deck buying frenzies while we've been in self-isolation. And we don't ask kind of these sort of more general life questions very often. So Patrice, do you feel like those questions are different? Okay. All right, Linda, because that one came in first, if you guys feel like those are different questions, I'm going to be, so how can I'm going to get this one from Lori here. And I know that we obviously have kind of a bit of a theme going on in Tarot Playdate, but it's not a theme in Tarot Playdate, it's a theme in the world. So I don't feel bad about tackling this a few different directions. How can we deal with racist family members? And I'm going to tack on and friends in our lives. All right. So Linda, I know I just kind of usurped your question by bringing that one that Lori brought down, but if you could bring that next time for me, if you are here, please come back with that question and we will tackle it next time. So I'm going to keep things pretty serious here. Okay. So we have from Christina, and I haven't been watching the chat as I was writing that all down, but I think, okay, Emily said, I think that's an interesting question. Kristen, bring that question back as well next week. I think that's a great question. How can you support your children, young children during this time? Sandra, I am buying too many decks. Mrs. Eskimopi saying hello, hello. All right. Is there such a thing as too many decks? Jennifer asks. All right, so as I shuffle here from Christina, we have, how can we stay connected with loved ones this week? From Jonathan, how can we support those in need this week? From Patrice, how can we support the Black Lives Matter movement and what is ours to do? I think that's a really important piece of that question. From John, how can I or we grow in our meditation/spiritual practice this week? And from Lori, how can we deal with racist family members and friends in our lives? Thank you for bringing these really important questions. I always, always, always appreciate it. Hi, Anj. Nice to see you. All right, here we go. I'm going to think about these questions one more time and pull our card. One last shuffle, folks. Okay. All right, folks, we're going to do a little work together today, aren't we? What do you think? First thoughts, first impressions, initial reactions? Yeah. Is anybody really surprised after the questions we brought to the table today? I'm not sure that I am. I think this is like exactly the right card for us to be looking at today. Yep, Emily says shadow shit is coming up. All right, folks, let's do this together. That's why we're here. That's why we're all here together. So I know that you're going to want to answer this in context of the questions, but try really, really hard. And let's just talk about our general meanings and understandings of this card. Christina's like, deck addiction is the first thing that kind of comes to mind. Butterfly Magic says orange, it's Trump. You know, I see where you're getting that. Let's tackle this. Bring it on. You guys are ready. This is why I love this every freaking week. Lori says it's appropriate. So we see addiction and deck addiction come to mind immediately when seeing this card. And I will give us a closer look at this card and we'll look more deep. We'll look at all the different symbols in the card and all of that. This does look really freaking orange today, doesn't it? Does it always look this orange? I know there are different colorations of the RWS, but wow, the orange is standing out to me today. Gracia initially thinks shadow self. He has a blonde goat beard too. Oh, you guys. All right, Emily, manipulation, fear mindset. Again, addiction. You know, I always kind of notice like the chains. What is it that I'm chained? Thank you, Julia, or Julie, we're on the same page here, like chained to things in our own minds. What is holding us captive, right? Patrice says this calls us to look at ourselves and face our own patterns and shadows. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, this does bring a whole new meaning to the Trump card. Okay. All right, the political jokes. I totally get you. I totally get you. Careful that rabbit hole. Laurie says, I'm in Orange country. Oh, Southwest Ohio loves Trump. Aquarius Owl says temptation. Simon says we are our own worst enemy. Jonathan says self-destructive behaviors. Yes. Shane, I always look at the depiction of the devil before I ever look at the people attached to him. So that's really interesting. So you notice that first before you notice the two people down here. Queen Rhea says the illusion that physical appearances are the only reality. Ooh, that's a good one. Zelita, the best way to conquer us is to divide us. Kristen, chained to thoughts and behaviors. Elizabeth, situations or addictions that seem to enslave us. Anj, feeling shackled to the situation that we are creating within ourselves. Yes, yes, yes. Gracia, the chains, self-limitation. Emily says the insidious underbelly of prejudice and repression. Selkie says, time for shadow work to begin. I think that's probably like the first thought that I ever have when I see this. It's like, all right, what do I need to look at? What do I need to explore here? Wendy says the charge is nearly as much as, oh, sorry, you're reading about something about a deck. Sorry. Robin, don't put temptation on a pedestal. That's interesting, right? Essence 818, free will, but with negative influence. Oh, that's really interesting too. Time to work, says Kathy. Wiccan says disruptive habits and patterns. Simon says temptations may arise, but don't let them sabotage our endeavors. Right. Yes, temptation, big one with this one. Chris Kelly, being driven by our desires can be used in a positive way, can give us the motivation to achieve something big, but we can also become a slave to our desires. Right? A lot of times too, you can look at this. It's like, okay, maybe you need to let loose a little bit, right? So sometimes I think the devil card can be a like, hey, have a little fun. You got to be careful with that though. Really careful with that. Julie says, isn't that why she painted the devil so much larger? So it would grab your attention in that way. Is that kind of what you mean, Julie? Elle says ego equals the separation of. Donna, hello. You're not hardly even late. And wow, the devil, appropriate this week. Yes, especially when you hear the questions that were asked before you got here, Donna. The ram is associated with Capricorn, says Selkie. Kathy, clinging to old ideas and behaviors. Jonathan, the mirror image of the lovers, selfish love, controlling love, dark love. We talked about that a little bit in in Tarothon. I almost said Tarot Play Date, Tarothon last week. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you. Aquarius Owl, tied to a bad relationship. Robin, entrapment. Trapped in an unhealthy situation, says Simon. Yeah, so you and Robin were right there. Self-sabotage, says Gracia. Sophie, finding it hard to break negative cycles. Destructive behavior, says Donna. Jackie, too focused on the material rather than the spiritual. Yes. Butterfly magic. People are shackled, oppressed by the authority figures in positions of power. Reflects the current world protest. Yes, it does. Lori, I'll bet the devil loves it when we fight with our loved ones. Well, yeah, again, thinking of that question that you asked earlier, right? Essence 818, consequences postponed, freedom and fun with restrictions that are easy to disregard until you try to walk away, right? And then you're too entrenched in it. You don't realize the effects that it's had. Emily says, maybe someone said it already, but I always find it so interesting how the chains are loose and they can free themselves if they just realize they have the power to choose, right? So we see that same choice that we see in the Lovers card, right? Where we have the angel, now we have the devil, right? But there are still choices to be made here, and that can be made and should probably be made. Jonathan says the chains aren't tight. If they wanted to, they could remove the chains and walk away. See, Jonathan and Emily coming right in there. And beware handing over responsibility for your actions. Robin says the devil lights a fire under us to get moving. Brenda, obsession and self-doubt. Wendy's chat stopped. Refresh. I don't know if you can hear me. That happens to me sometimes, especially when I'm playing back lives. That happens to me, and then I have to like refresh the whole video, and then it jumps back, and I have to get forward. Let's see here. Wiccan 222 says trapped by desires that you are not taking responsibility for, right? A lot of times it's really easy to play the victim when we're in kind of that devil space, right? Simon, temptation could be outside or inside ourselves or a blend of the two. So look objectively at our own inner devil. Sean, oblivious to our own restrictions, right? And how we're restricting ourselves. Do we ever see, I guess we probably do see the oppression and restriction of others as well here, I imagine. Shane says, it reminds me of the slip chain collars that are used on dogs. If you just pull them towards you, it'll loosen right up and come off. Right? Welcome back, Wendy. glad the refresh worked. So, oh, you guys did good. Like, we've been talking about this card for, about 15 minutes, I think, and we haven't even looked closely at the symbols. So let's dive into the so many details that are in this card. So I'll go ahead and pull it close up, and then I'll pull it back and we can talk about some of these. That is one angry looking face, isn't it? So does anybody notice anything new looking at the card up close like that they haven't seen before? Or what grabbed your attention first when I did that? I'd be really curious to know. White Tree Tarot says the devil's torch is facing down, so he relies on darkness and ignorance, right? So we're not lighting the way here. Wait, it's over there. Mirror image here going on. Emily says, I also think it's the cruel words we speak to ourselves without realizing it. The reverse pentagram, Emily's noticing that. Well, I have no depth perception today. What is happening? Okay. Butterfly Magic says, yes, these are like the choke chains used on dog collars. Do the humans have tails? Right? Yeah, I'd say so. I would say so. So he's got the fiery tail, and she's got, what is that there? Simon, do you have the book handy? I don't have it. Usually I have the Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite Smith, the yellow book that we like to dive into for the symbols. I mean, immediately I think of the pomegranate seeds, but I know that this is a thing. Like, somebody knows what this is, and I should probably know what this is. Lori noticed the tails of the people right away. Robin says the devil's hand gesture looks like that of Spock from Star Trek, right? He's got his little fingers split like that. Anybody know what that gesture symbolizes? That's a good question. Jonathan says instead of the infinity, I have no depth perception and I have no words. Instead of the infinity symbol found in the Magician and Strength, you have the pentacle upside down, making it a pentagram. So that's the first thing Sandra noticed. Flame tails and maybe a plant or vines, grape, pomegranate. Yeah, it might be grapes too. I was thinking of the pomegranate just because that's so prevalent throughout the tarot, but I was wondering if maybe it's something else. Fruit, they represent Adam and Eve, right? And it's interesting, so why do we think, the male figure here in this particular tarot deck has the fiery tail versus the female represented figure here has the fruit tail? What does that mean? Is it not the two figures of the lovers? That's how I see it, Wendy. I see this as the lovers now in a devilish situation, if you will. Anne says they all have horns. Oops, my chat jumped. They all have horns. Are they actually enjoying their entrapment? They might be. They haven't chosen to leave, have they? So it's grapes she's holding in her hands. See, now here it doesn't look like she's holding them in her hands. It looks like they're coming off of a tail. See? But I wonder, in other cards, do you see it that way? That's really interesting. Shane says it looks like grapes, the sign of luxury that I've seen, and to me. Grape cluster, says Donna. Chris says he reverses the magicians as a, oopsie, my chat jumped again. I was right in the middle of a good comment. He reverses the magicians as above, so below, except the devil is pointing his wand down. It makes me think he is taking things that have been manifested and destroying them. Oh, yeah, because he does. He has that similar hand gesture, right? I didn't really notice that before. Good call. Yeah, as somebody else just pointed it out, as Emily just pointed it out as well. You guys are like, so many of you are in sync today. Like the comments keep coming in pairs. That's really cool. Naked Obsession, says Kathy. Sophie Montero says the devil represents that fiery red feeling that you get deep in your gut that makes you feel sick when you're in a position of facing your shadow self. Julie, live long and prosper, right there with the Spock symbol, except for this guy came before Spock, right? We know this. The hermit's cave, Simon. The tails like the horns. Man came down from the heavens not only as an angel, but as an ape from a tree. Ooh, interesting. Val, in the Tarot of Prague, they discussed the live long and prosper symbol. It was I want to make sure pronounce that right, rabbinic symbol that Leonard Nimoy incorporated in Star Trek. I'll see if I can find the exact reference. That would be really cool, Val. Thank you. It shows they both gave in to temptation, says Kristen. Powell's Tarot Tent, excellent card, right? Perfect card. Welcome, by the way. Kristen McCod, I don't know if I said hi to you either. Both have given in to temptation. See what I'm saying? You guys are both, like the chats are coming in pairs. The chat's coming in pairs today, or the comments. Simon, the tails. The task, therefore, is to acknowledge and fashion what remains of our primordial nature. Yes. Is it a bushel of apples? Talking about the fruit again. We're ruminating on that. Essence 818, Eve's is the forbidden fruit. The other is the devil's pitchfork, indicating they've given in to temptation. Beth says, I saw an interview with Leonard Nimoy, and he said it was a secret blessing gesture done in the temple. So that's really interesting with the devil, isn't it? Patrice says the devil is between them in the way of their relationship, right? Elle says, man came down from heaven to earth not only as an angel, the fire tail, but also as an ape from the trees, the tree tail thing. So that's kind of similar to what Simon was saying. Okay, I gotcha. Butterfly Magic says, I've always wondered about the significance of those chicken legs. Thoughts? Yeah, because if you look at like his legs and then his feet, he doesn't have feet. He has, what are those called? Talons? What are those called? Simon says the downward torch stands for our mission to bring light into the darkness. Patrice says, can't be in a healthy relationship when there is an addiction between you. Very true. And there are many different kinds of addictions, right? They can be substances. They can be codependency. They can be all kinds of things. Pal's Tarot Tent noticed that fire also comes up from the earth. They're both growing horns. Yep. Oh, goat legs? But those don't look like goat feet. Don't goats have hooves? So he has goat legs and some other kind of feet. So Donna says the grapes make me think of Bacchus Dionysus, therefore overindulgence. Iris says the devil may be the chains we put on ourselves when we act in unbalanced energy. Kimberly says the hand gesture represents the Hebrew letter Shin, Almighty God. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Emily says, I think it's because when Christianity became popular, they demonized the god Pan. Oh, Pan, like capital P, Pan. Got it. Weekend 222. The woman's tale relates to the forbidden fruit of the Garden of Eden. The man's tale is devil-like. Whoa! Catching color of the devil's torch, symbolizing corruption. The woe was due to like the chat just like jumped this far. Let's see here. Sean says, nudity. People see you as you are. Yes. Pal's Tarot Tent says, Jen, it's me, just with the COVID-19 pounds not so tiny anymore. Oh, with Tiny Dancer? Is that you, Powell? Powell, Tiny Dancer? Okay. Kathy, upside down pentagram is focused on earth rather than spiritual matters. Yes. All right. Talons. Okay, I said the right word. Thank you. Simon says, like, Elle, stop stealing my gig. Hey, you all can share in the focusing on the symbols. It's like father, like daughter. Gracia, animal nature, inclination, pure enjoyment without reason or control. You guys have so much to dive into. This is why I love the majors. Oh my gosh. Jonathan, the torch pointing down is symbolic of extinguishing inner light or knowledge. Yes. Elizabeth, put the Lover's card next to this card and you will see the devil appears to corrupt the lovers, perfect harmony. Instead of the angel, we see the scowling monster who keeps his slaves chained. Yes, but the chains are large enough for them to take them off and walk away. Butterfly Magic, goats are cute, chickens are cute. What are they doing on the devil? Goats are associated with devils, but I tend to ignore that. Yeah, like in the El Goliath, right? The devil is like a very disturbing looking goat with like, looks like blood running down its, I don't know what you call it, its mouth, its muzzle, it's whatever. Not a muzzle on a goat, but Shayna's going to be yelling at me in his screen right now. Shane says, it looks like the devil is lighting the fire of the man's tail. It does look like that, doesn't it? Not one thing I normally notice, but those staring at it looks at more and more. I totally see that right there, right? Sophie says, the devil seems to show up when we are not in a position to embrace the magician that is within us, that is our free will to take control and not let the devil energy take control. All right, okay. Paul's tarot tint used to be tiny dancer. Got it. All right, Simon says the cube. The cube. We haven't even talked about the cube. Like that is that what you mean? Like this pillar that he's sitting on? A symbol for the material. The black cube is the holy of holies in Christianity, Kaaba in Mecca, the symbol of unworked material and the unexplored self. Oh, I love it when you bring this stuff. Thank you. I did say a major would come up. I really would have been surprised if a major card did not come up today with everything going on in the world. Chris asks, anyone know why the humans have horns? Does it say that in the book, Simon? Or L? Emily, let's see. Oh, she's talking to Butterfly Magic about the cuteness of goats and chickens. Why are those animals associated with the devil? Interesting. It's a good question. Wiccan, the torch is not held up to illuminate the scene. The devil keeps his knowledge and power for himself. Yes. Jonathan, in normal conditions, the pentagram represents harmony between the elements. If the inverted in the inverted depiction, it is the disharmony of the elements that are being expressed. Things are definitely out of sorts. Could the horns indicate the devil within us all, the dark side within us? I think that's kind of how I see it, but I'll be interested to know if there's a kind of a deeper meaning associated with that. The devil definitely does not look happy. He doesn't look like he's enjoying himself. Like he's not particularly happy. Interesting. It's a good observation. Jackie says balancing on the edge, playing with boundaries. Simon said, see way above. Are you really going to make me do that? I guess. Okay, so hopefully y'all saw Simon's comment about the horns way above. I'm not going to try and scroll back. Lori, what you see is all there is. The hand symbol mudra he's given per Ellen Goldberg. Okay, so we have a couple of different interpretations of that. That's really interesting. Horns, uncivilized nature. Yes, so the devil within us. Thank you, Simon, for bringing it back for me. I really appreciate it. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys have so many notes. Gracia, the black box I always associated with repressed memories and missed opportunities. So this could be matters of physical, material things, repressed memories. I love that we have different interpretations for that. And a lot of that will just really depend on the context of whatever question we're asking, right? Elizabeth says, just a side note, I see that this card represents two chakras. It's usually one. It represents the first and the second chakra. So the first chakra being the root chakra, second sacral chakra. Do I have that right? I'm still very new at the chakras. I need to pay way more attention to my friend Jennifer Ball because she talks about them all the time. Butterfly magic, animals with forked hooves are seen as unclean and associated with the devil. Oh, interesting. Not eaten, etc. There's a Hebrew reference, but I don't know it. Thank you. Thank you, Simon. You are kind like that. Essence 818, the Kabbalistic letter Ayin. I don't know if I've said that right. Ayin or Ayin or I don't know Kabbalah, meaning eye and clear vision. Be vigilant and all-seeing in the devil's presence. On the tree of life, it's in between mind and rebirth. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the Kabbalistic words there. Hebrew words? Do I sound like an idiot? Jonathan, don't answer that. The devil card depicts the hero's descent into underworld, a common motif in mythology. This is a stage in the hero's journey. Queen Rhea says, Rachel Pollack says the devil's rectangle, half a cube, indicates an incomplete knowledge. Ooh, yes. Oh my gosh, this just keeps going, you guys. Okay, L, Christianity tends to demonize humans, hence the horns, which leaves us to fall into victimization, complacency, and continuing in prejudices, destroying the earth rather than working together and fixing, right? And we know some folks who are trying to propagate that mentality, which I don't appreciate. Kathy says, oh, the devil is our personification of our fears. Yes. Val, the symbol of unworked material and the unresolved self regarding the cube sure reminds me of some famous person setting himself up on the Holy of Holies. Mendy, welcome. Yes, a major. Hope you had a good class. We're not surprised at all to see this show up. I don't think. I don't think anybody expressed surprise. Jonathan says the devil shown here is Baphomet based on Pan. Pan represents sexual desire, lust, and wildness. Okay, thank you, Butterfly Magic. We're all self-motivated lifelong learners, but no one can ever know anything. There's just a lot to know. Boy, is there ever. And that's one of the reasons why I love the tarot and this group so much. I learn so much from you every week. I am so behind on making my notes, but eventually I am going to have that community created guidebook. Like, it is going to happen. All right. You guys have done amazingly well so far, but we are far from done because we have 5 other devil cards to look at and some questions to answer. So for those of you who are new here, the way that I do this is every week I have all of my RWS themed decks. I don't pull the RWS clones like that are different depictions because I want us to see some different artwork. So I put all of my decks into a random name generator and I select 5 every week. And those are the ones that we use. Now, I pre-stacked these in order so that I can't choose based on the questions. So let's take a look at our first one that's coming out of a beautiful Kelly Bear pouch for anybody who knows that she makes these, but her shop has been closed during the pandemic. But I look forward to when it reopens, even though I also have a very beloved family member who also makes tarot bags. This is the light seers that we're going to look at. See, Jonathan said, these figures either choose to be there or do not know they have the ability to leave. They don't look to be in physical pain. You could say they might actually enjoy this. Well, I think that's a lot of the temptation of the devil, right? Is that for a while we think we're in a good space. We think we're having a good time. We think it's pleasurable, but that's the trick of it. All right, so a lot of you probably know, why am I doing this? Okay, a lot of you probably know this card. But let's take a look at our Light Seers Devil and tell me what you notice. What does this bring to mind for you? That's either either different or the same as what we see in the classic RWS, Rider-Waite-Smith. So I'm going to pull this up close, let you take a look at it very up close, and then we'll talk about it. Interesting with the tattoos, right? Chris Kelly, he's hot. That's kind of one of the first things I think every time. I'm not going to lie. But sexual, says Pal's Tarot Tent. You know, this is always one of the first things I notice in this card. You know, this sort of, he's got these puppet strings on this person who's clearly upset or distressed or something. Simon, I'd better not say what I see. You know, it probably isn't something that somebody else isn't thinking. Let's just be real. Zelita says he's handsome and inviting you to come with him. Lori tries life. Sexy guy, right? I've been tempted by this guy in the past. I have. It didn't go well. Let's just say that. I mean, not this literal guy, but some guy who reminds me of this guy. Cutie patootie, says Aquarius Al. See, we're all falling into the devil's trap already. Look what's happening. Shadow work time, folks. Shadow work time. Linda says he's welcoming. He's like, hey, come on over here. But with the hand that he's reaching out, he's warning you at the same time, like, yeah, I welcome you to let me control you. He literally looks like such a good guy, says Emily. Does he though? Ooh, again. Kristen says he almost appears underwater the way his hair is floating, right? There's some magic happening there. There's like, ooh, let me spellbind you with my floaty, beautiful hair. All right, how many people are ready to walk away with this guy right now? Elizabeth, I love this card. The glittery gold, right, in the hair. Queen Rhea, yes. Robin says the devil is tempting us to visit the hair salon during the pandemic. Simon says those eyes, right? When you see the eyes, don't look into his eyes. Yep, we have the 6-pointed star. So here we have something a little bit different than the reverse pentagram, right? Did you guys notice too the Baphomet tattoo over here? Did you notice that? Or is that a ram's head? Ooh, I guess that could be a ram's head too. Really interesting. He's got the devil star tattooed. Is that what that is? The devil star? It's different than the reverse pentacle. Come with me, says Wiccan222. Okay, what are you responding to there? Oh, I lost my chat. Dang it. Okay, I got past Cutie Patootie. Okay, my chat's not scrolling with my fingers. Oh, it did that freezy thing again. You guys remember when this happened? For those of you who are in Tarothon, it's doing that thing that Tarothon did. Let me see if I can refresh it. Ooh, is it working? I think it's working. So Jonathan said he's got the devil star tattoo on his chest, and then Elle said, yes, Jonathan, like harming yourself in order to feel justified in seeking comfort. All right, my chat's broken, you guys. Okay, give me 1 second. It's like being really slow to refresh, but I have my other chat over here. So let's see if we can, let's see, sexual temptation, hot temptation, none of my chat will scroll. All right, let me see if I can get this refreshed here. Keep talking amongst yourself. There's a lot to talk about. I may not be able to read all the comments out because I don't want to hold y'all too long here. But let me see if I can get my chat back. It like keeps coming in spurts. Sorry, it's loading. I think you can still see me, but my chat is dead. Come on, you know you wanna. Let's see if I can see some of this. Of course, Al says I've had to fix. See, I'm getting like this page non-responsive thing on my other chat. Okay, some of this chat is scrolling. Ramhead says, Selkie, never seen such a sexy devil. That is the whole point. Do not be fooled by him or her. People can only see what they want to see, says Aquarius Al. He is showing you your future, and you go to him anyway. So he's basically saying, like, here's what's going to happen if you come to me. And yet I'm going to do it anyway. All right, let me see if I can get this in a private browser. See, it's like I can see the chat for a second and then it goes away. It's very strange. Okay, this might work. We're having to get clever here. It's a unicursal hexagram, says Chris. All right, ooh, do we almost have it? Come on, you know you wanna. Wait, okay. All right, so, oh, I almost have it. Almost have it. Come on, you know you wanna. Pop out my chat. Oops. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. Keep talking about the devil card. Now, in just a second here, we're going to answer our first question. Yeah, I'm having a difficult time. Wait. Okay, here we go. Live chat. All right, I think I've got chat back. I've got chat back. Congratulations. All right, I hope you guys will forgive me if I don't go back and read all of the comments. But I know you guys have been chatting about it, so hopefully you're sharing some good information. But what I want to do is get us to our first question. So this one was from, no, wait, please don't go away. Okay, there we go. So what I want to do is get us to our first question from Christina. Thank you for your patience and for continuing Playdate with or without me. That's how it should be. Christina, how can we stay connected with loved ones this week? So how does the devil card help us answer the question, how can we stay connected with this week? So while you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to see if there's any points that I want to draw out here. No, wait, just keep on coming. My chat is, I think I'm getting my internet back here. So Emily had said he looks a bit like how Jesus is described, which I find interesting. The devil masquerading as a good moral person who will love and protect you. Interesting. Kristen says, he looks like he's singing the song from Hocus Pocus. Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows. Interesting. Oh, why? Okay. Christina says, the answer to the question for me is do not be too dependent on your family this week. Don't burden them. So how can we stay connected with our loved ones this week? The other thing is don't be tempted to be hanging out with the wrong crowd, right? So maybe if we stay focused on the people that we know we need to be connecting to and not be drawn away by temptation or other things or flashier things or the wrong sort. You know, I hear like Harry Potter. It's like, I can judge the wrong sort for myself, thanks. You know, don't be pulled away into temptation, and staying close with our family and friends is one thing that comes to mind for me. Kathy says, do not embrace the anger and the hate. Embrace that which is love. Yes. Butterfly Magic says he might not be. Oh, you guys are talking about his nudity? It is blackened and furry, like wearing some chicken drumsticks. Or yeah, I don't know. The swish of what's happening here. Is that his hair that's wrapping around, by the way? Is that his hair coming down and wrapping around? It almost looks like that's what's happening. All right, let's see. Do you have any other thoughts? Jonathan says he reaches out his hand, granting a release from the mundane with promises of earthly and material pleasures. Well, sometimes this release is healthy and necessary. He hides that he offers addiction. Jackie says, remember your family need to know that you are there for them, even if from afar. Don't forget them as you are involved with other things and distractions, right? Another thing, too, is to make sure that the relationships that we're having with our loved ones are healthy relationships, right? That we're not devolving into codependency and blame and victimization and accusations, right? Keeping the lover side of those relationships going versus the devil side of those relationships might be something as well to consider. Emily says, perhaps recognizing where you are putting your energy. Are you using it for positive and for love, or with anger and frustration? Yes. Hi, Jilly. I'm glad you made it. Hope you had a good walk. We have the devil card this time. All right. Does that help answer your question, Christina? Zelita, sometimes your relationships with your family can be the unhealthy chains that tie you to a situation you need to walk away from. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Are you surprised, Jilly? I mean, this card makes so much sense this week, doesn't it? Let's see. People wishing he's naked. What's happening there? Lori tries life. My family member is racist and I'm not going to change his mind no matter what I say. Okay, we're going to talk about that when we get to that question too, aren't we? Wendy, take negativity out of any chats or contact with family, or respond to negativity they may bring into conversation. Keep things positive as much as we can. But one thing to be careful of, and Wendy, I totally like what you're saying, and I hope you'll forgive me for playing devil's advocate a little bit. Oh gosh, the bad puns. Elle, are you proud? But it's also making sure that we're not so focused on being positive that we're not really speaking about what's true, and not falling into the trap of, what is it that somebody said? Somebody brought the phrase toxic positivity or whatnot. But I totally get what you're saying. I'm just it helped me sort of expand on a thought. Jonathan, don't be so dependent on someone else, forgetting your own abilities. Toxic, thank you. Yep, toxic positivity. You guys know what I'm saying there. All right, so that was our first alternate card. I got to keep this thing going because we spent a long time on our RWS version of that card, which is fantastic. Not complaining, not even a little bit. All right, so our next card is going to probably take, I don't remember what this devil card looks like at all. I'm trying to stay organized and clean up my mess as I go. All right, we have the Golden Wheel Tarot, is random deck choice number 2 here. Let's see what we got. Tell me what you think about this one. Ooh, oh wait, that's death. I do that all the time. Okay, the devil is who we want. This one's interesting. Now, this actually brings to mind a lot of what you guys were saying earlier in the chat about this being sort of the kind of a shadow side of the magician, like a deep shadow side of the magician. Let me go ahead and pull this close so you can take a look at everything in the Golden Wheel Tarot here, in case anybody didn't hear me say that. All right, let me get back into focus here. So what do you think? So John was, I think, still answering the previous question. Don't ignore family trauma or toxic situations. They must be worked on in order to genuinely connect. I love that, John. So Sandra's noticing here, I love that the flames look like horns in this one, right? They totally do, but they are the flames. That's really interesting. It's a good optical illusion, if you will. It's not really optical, but you know what I mean. Julie Daniels asked, toxic positivity, is that like saccharine sweetness? Yes, or I think the way I've heard somebody describe it is, you know, it's focusing on the positive and not acknowledging the truth. Like it's kind of like the rose-colored glasses kind of thing, right? Butterfly Magic says this is a great image. Those two flames rising look like horns. See, I told you the comments come in pairs today. It's like you guys are these two people. All right. Now that's a light bringer in this card, right? Jonathan says that's an amazing card. Interesting. He's golden. And jumbo shrimp or dry mop? I must have missed something, Essence. Meme. Okay, from a distance, the light color around the chin and the mouth look like a face mask. Oh, that's interesting with like the COVID reference there. All right. Oh, thank you, Jackie. So Mendy's, oh, shrimp. Now you guys are talking about shrimp. I don't even know. The denial of shadows, says Julie. John says he looks like he's bringing the heat to a cold environment. Probably too hot, though. Right? So to me, the first thought that I had when I saw this is like, this is the magician who's kind of gone over the edge. He's gone too far. He's like Jafar in Aladdin. Like he's gone way too far. He's not in a good, healthy place for manifesting whatever it is he's manifesting here. Zelita, I feel like he is sitting in the seat of his own power. Yes, like power hungry, out of control. Like I don't feel like he is controlling whatever magic he's performing. I feel like it's getting away from him. Yes, the colors are amazing. It's a beautiful, this deck is really, really pretty, I think. Jafar, you guys see what I'm saying there? Essence 18. Oh, you still talking about shrimp? Okay, I gotta avoid those. All right, Emily says he looks so angry and shrouded in aggression and manipulation. So what's interesting here, and I'm going to see, like, what is it he's doing with like the plant life here? Let me see if I can get it to focus again. Okay, if I focus on his face, it usually does a little better. So he's got this knife, and it's like, is he extracting something from the plant? I don't know what's going on there. Does anybody want to hear about this from the book? Elements are not in balance, Donna. Yes, yes, yes. Queen Rhea says, interesting that he's so fiery. In the RWS, the devil's element is earth. Oh, so we do have a lot of earth depicted here. Sorry, not trying to flip you off. We do have a lot of earth depicted here. Kathy says Voldemort. Julia, Jen, your son is in the, what'd I say? Did I say something bad? Sorry, Shane. Did I embarrass you? I mean, that is my job, but the knife is ready to cut the single flower, says Sean. Oh, interesting. Yes, please read the book is what I think that was answering. Let's see what it says. I feel like this will be really interesting. Okay, one-handed. She can do this. All right, captivity is the key word here. According to an old Slavic legend, on the night of the marriage of the water and the sun, the one who finds the magic flower of the fern will be granted full knowledge of everything in the world. Ooh, this is interesting. He will be able to see the treasures underground, Jafar, to read the thoughts of other people, and will gain power over evil spirits. This magical flower is guarded by an evil force, and the one who tries to abduct it from the forest awaits a terrible trial. Enraged spirits will drive him mad and will send horrible visions that can kill if the brave man turns around to look at them. This card tells us that our souls are killed by consuming passions, burning desires, pride, and a self-destructive desire to achieve at all costs. They are like evil spirits that haunt us. Ambition and vanity, base instincts, the desire to become better than others are entangled as if by a network of your mind, which overshadows your vision and leads to destruction. In order to free yourself from this trap, listen to the voice of reason, and you will be saved from the captivity of your passion. Wow. Anybody else have goosebumps with that? I'm just saying. All right. Yeah, Shane, you probably are a worse influence on me than I am on you. Necromancer vibes. Okay. Yes, the knife was ready to cut the single flower. Okay, so let's talk about our second question here. Pandora's box. Yes, Sean. Exactly. With all of that knowledge. It's uh-oh. Dropsies. It's been a while. I just wanted to throw you one, that's all. All right, so from Jonathan, we had another question. How can we support those in need this week? How can we support those in need? And sorry, I have to share my thought because a lot of times I wait for you, but sometimes I want to play too. Don't take their power. That's the first thing that came to mind for me. How can we support those in need? Don't take their power. Don't take their voices. Okay, I open it up to your thoughts now. Stop doing that close up. What? What? Julia, I don't know. Julie says he doesn't look happy that he learned all the secrets. Donna said, I thought it was a turban. No, oh, that's his hair. Oh, that's funny. With the Jafar reference, I wasn't even thinking of that. But no. Yeah, I think I just saw that as like crazy white blonde hair. Wendy says, oh, bye, Wendy. Nice to see you. Don't be tricked into thinking it's over, right? Shame. Now it's going to happen when she said, yeah, I know. It had to happen. So Mendy says, this card doesn't say devil to me in terms of tarot for some reason. Well, I think this is a Russian, based on like Russian mythology or folklore, that kind of thing. So it's very culturally slanted, I think, in a way. But don't take everything for yourself, says Emily. Give to others. Thank you, Val, for liking and Sean for liking my take on that. Jonathan, the devil may represent how you limit yourself, your comfort zone, the space you keep yourself in to feel safe. Get out of your comfort zone to help others. Yes, you have to be uncomfortable sometimes in order to make a change in the world, right? And to support other people. We do have to get outside of ourselves. Emily says, the story about the plant reminds me of Mother Gothel in the Disney movie Tangled. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. Emily says, so leave the plants to grow or don't harvest more than you need, right? So don't take too much if we can support others. Remember, there's enough for everyone. This kind of came up before when we were really, really focused on the pandemic, right? It's like, the hoarding of the toilet paper and the hoarding of the food and the things. It's like, take what you need, but leave enough for others so that everybody can be supported and everybody can get through this, right? So Jonathan, I don't know that there you are. Oh, you've answered the question too. So hopefully you feel like you've gotten a good answer to that question. I want to keep moving on, so I don't keep you guys for too long today. Emily says, yes, so much of this is coming up right now in so many areas of life. Christina said, after all the burning in Minneapolis, we can help rebuild. That's another great way to look at that, right? When you look at the literal fire in the card. Okay. Let's move on to our next random one. I know this is a favorite. I say this with sarcasm of some people in the chat, and I know this is a favorite. I say without sarcasm of some people in the chat. Shane said, do not fall into comfort and pleasures. Do not bury your head in the sand. Face it, fight. People ask for the normal back, but they don't understand that the normal was not the lovers, but the devil. Yeah, Shane. Yes. All right, our next random deck is the Fountain Tarot. So we're going to go from something probably fiery to something a little more, I don't know. A lot of times this deck tends to be a bit more simple and clean in its artwork, I suppose. Ooh, this one's a little abstract, so let me know what you think about this. I'm definitely interested to know. Let me hold it up close for you, but here is our Devil card from the Fountain Tarot. So let's take a really close look at this. Yeah, Shane is literally on fire. Not literally on fire. That's the wrong use of the word literally. Okay, here we go. Come on, focus camera. Let's see if I can give it something to focus on. This card is so abstract, my camera won't focus. There we go. So there's the two people shrouded. A shadowy figure up above. Is that that almost looks like a sword, but you can see something kind of coming right there. That's really interesting. The phrase that comes to mind for me, focus, there we go, I'm back. The phrase that comes to mind for me is being caught in a web. Anybody else see that? Lori says, creepy card. The imagery is quite obscure in the Fountain Tarot. It really can be. This was like one of the first decks that I got too. Not necessarily a deck for beginners, but I was really drawn to it early in my tarot days. Emily says the distortion and almost the separation of our soul and our earthly bodies. Ooh, Emily, giving me chills with that one. I know it's not Simon's favorite. I know. Who do you think I was talking about a minute ago? Sean says, I like it. One of the few cards in this deck. Sean, that you like? That looks like the image of Jesus. Interesting. I didn't see that, but that's really interesting. Beth loves the fountain. See, we have all kinds here. Even my camera hates it. My camera came to appreciate it. You're such a troublemaker with this deck. Shane, that looks like a tunnel to walk through, like the guards with swords overhead. They look like knights for that hidden devil. It's like, ooh, interesting. Sophie says the two faces facing opposite direction, trying to escape the devil energy. Yeah, Anj, this deck is airy, which can symbolize caught in the negative thought patterns and being controlled by it. Yeah, I really think this deck to me springs forth a lot more about what is in the mind, right? I totally get what you're saying there. At least I think I do. You tell me if I misunderstood. Shane, they don't look so trapped in this image to me, but a part of it. See, I feel like they're totally, well, I don't feel like they can't get out. It's almost like they're wrapping themselves up, right? All they have to do is kind of unwrap themselves from whatever that is. What does the book say? Oh, I'll read the book for you. Don't you worry. Gracia says, I like it because the devil is not in your face. Like reality, our addiction and shadow are not obvious to others at first glance, right? So it's much more subtle and hidden. I'm with Julie. What does the book say? Emily says, the steps remind me of a really bad dream. Yeah, it's got a very creepy dreamlike quality to it, doesn't it? Chris says the steps seem to, I'm looking, I swear. The steps seem to lead people past the people in need. Is this a reminder not to walk past those in need, but to make a conscious effort to stop and help someone? Oh, I love how you're interpreting that. And I have a feeling that's going to really help answer our question that's coming up from Patrice here. Can we see a close-up of the top? Is that where the devil is? Yeah, there's a really, I'm going to focus on the faces and I'll bring it down because my camera seems to do that better. There we go. Do you see that face? It looks like something's coming out of its mouth. Do you guys see the face there? I see a face. Bassett says, I like the stairs. It seems to me everybody has to take his or her own way out of the darkness. They remind me of the disciples and the Hierophant, says Naomi, only they're facing away rather than toward, right? All right, here's what the book has to say. The forces in life that genuinely move us forward are not always black and white. They are complex and powered by fearsome and sometimes dangerous energy. The devil card is not about evil. It is about the forces of desire, indulgence, and abandon. Natural human qualities that flow in both directions, resulting in either growth and freedom or bondage and addiction. The solution is extreme honesty with yourself and an assessment of what is actually needed. Surrender, commitment, restraint. The qualities themselves do not enslave us. Only we can do that. Meaning a choice between indulgence and restraint, a loss of one's sense of self, undisciplined behavior, some of the keywords that we know. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Okay. All right. So Anja, I was understanding where you were going with that correctly. So our third question from Patrice, how can we support the Black Lives Matter movement and what is ours to do, right? What is ours to do? I love that part of this question. So tell me what you guys think about how we can embrace or look at or listen to the devil card as it relates to how can we support the Black Lives Matter movement and what is ours to do. Neem says, I'm sorry, I just don't get it with this art depiction, but the book explanation is so perfect for this question. Yes. Someone may be pulling the string in the background and you are oblivious, says Jonathan. Also, are we allowing ourselves to be deceived, right? Are we allowing ourselves to stay in this position of being entrapped by the devil, right? That's something that just kind of comes to mind with the card in general, regardless of the depiction of it here. Elle says, when Shane said the people look to be part of it rather than trapped. Silence is violence. Choosing to not say something is saying something. Systematic racism thrives on silence. We must speak out. We must break the chains. We must do things different. The old patterns are not going to cut it, right? Staying in the same place and being, what's the word that I want? Complacent is not going to cut it. Step out of your comfort zone, says Sean. Yes, yes, yes. We were talking about that earlier as well. It's going to be uncomfortable. We have to get comfortable with discomfort. Face the heavy situation, even if it hurts, says Kimberly. Yes. Extreme honesty with ourselves is a good place to start. I loved that from the book. That's what immediately I was like, that right there is the answer to your question, Patrice. At least that's how I felt. Be present and allowing others to choose their path, says Butterfly Magic. I see what you're saying there. I'm going to think about it a little differently in context of this question, but I don't know that I have a fully formed thought yet to speak it out loud. Cops should not abuse force. Many periods there. There's nothing to do. That has nothing to do with race. Be willing to learn, says Jackie. We need to walk the steps with others to get to the other side, right? And if we're walking up the steps and we see these two people who are captured or who are chained, can we help them? Can we help them as we move forward, right? If you look at it from sort of the outside in and more as a pathworking type card. Simon says, don't sabotage our endeavors through fears. Do what we know to be right, even if we are met with opposition, right? Break the patterns that keep us trapped in a system of oppression, says Jonathan. We need to walk the steps with others. Oh yeah, I read that because I expanded on that. Neem says, surrender to the truth of what is happening to humans. Once everybody sees it like that, we can agree the fight is all of ours, regardless of race, right? This is not a this and us and them. This has to be in us. This has to be in all of humanity. There's just no other way to look at it. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm going to get all fired up here, but because yeah, anyway. So Chris, the devil is a master at manipulating us through our desires. Don't let anyone else tell you what you should be doing. Look at the facts for yourself and do what is right. Look at the facts for yourself and do what is right. Look at the facts, but also listen to the people who can really speak from experience. I think that's really important too. Beth says, yes, Jen, comfortable with discomfort. This card depicts that beautifully. John, individuals are being cloaked and hidden by a structure and a system. We have to see people with dignity outside of systematic cloak of dehumanization. Yes. Sophie says it's easier to stay trapped with the devil and subconsciously block understanding. Breaking that pattern will lead to better understanding and growth. Whew. You guys have me in such a place right now. I don't know how to explain it, but yes, listen, says Patrice. Jonathan, don't buy into the illusion of separation. We're all in this together because we are all one. Exactly. Yes. Keeping the devil in the details of what really happened, right? The devil really is in the details. The devil is in the truth of where we're at today. So what is ours to do? Listen, learn, be willing to break out of our comfort zone and be willing to help others break out of where they've been, right? I mean, all of these things. I see so much. Come on, Simon. How can you not like this card right now? There is only one race, the human race, right? But sometimes we have to put a greater focus of attention on the people who need it most. All right. Share and speak out about it as much as we can, right? Allow yourself to recognize that you're in a place that maybe you've allowed yourself to be kind of comfort and hunkered down in your blanket. We have to break out of that. We have to be uncomfortable. Demand action, says Al. Oh, we could probably talk about this for another, millennium, but let's keep on. Let's move on to the next one, and we'll get to visit more about this topic later for those of you who are really looking to speak out on it, which I am so thankful that you are. Thank you. Sophie said, be open to new perspectives. All right, so our fourth card is one that I have not seen yet because it has been sitting on my desk waiting for me to do an unboxing of Christoph James, the Rain Tarot. I have the limited borderless edition here that I literally have not flipped through. So I guess I will see the double card first, which should be really interesting based on what I know about his artwork. So, this kind of reminds me of the Light Seer's Devil a bit. All right, Jane. Okay, you guys have lots of good comments going, but I wanna get this up here for us. So this is the Devil card from the Raincoast Tarot, again by Christoph James. These are the backs, by the way. This is the a different back than his initial release that he did of this deck. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it in close, let you take a nice close look here. You see that snake? We have a bit of a wing going on behind him. We have a raven. Oh, that's interesting. Anybody know what that means? All right. What do you think? Mindy says, that is a fantastic devil. I'm excited to get looking through this deck. I wasn't sure what I was going to think about it, but already right now I'm in a headspace where I think I'm going to get comfortable with artwork that makes me uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. Anj says, I so want this deck. This particular version is, I think, not available anymore. In fact, that's why I snapped it up. I got his Oracle deck as well. And I noticed that these were almost gone, and I just was like, I gotta get it. I panicked. I panic bought for sure. He's split in two. Oh, a pillar. Speaking of Jafar, right? Jafar with blue hair. His lips are ice blue. Yeah. There's really interesting coloration in this deck. Jennifer, all this awesomeness. Let's see. Simon said, that's how I do my sevens. I think, is it a, I missed something. Oh, is it a 7? Oh, right there. It does look like a 7, doesn't it? I almost feel like the bottom of whatever it is cut off, but maybe that's, that's how I do my 7s too, now that I think about it. Jonathan says he's half blinded, right? He's peeking out from behind. This to me just, it speaks to like sneakiness, right? There's just like, he's like peeking out around the corner. I feel like he's watching the damage he's caused or the destruction or the trouble. I don't know. That's kind of what's coming to me right away. Butterfly Magic says that black hill almost doubles as a black wing. See, I only saw that as a wing, this right here, right? And then what do we think? Like we have some kind of a structure or building in the background. Focus. Sorry, it's me moving around that's causing that. But there's like that tower on a hill way back there in the background. Is there 2 moons in this card? Interesting. Shane says, I instantly see the crow raven, and then I notice that the snake that winds up the column, and then the horn that balances out the half-hidden face. Oh, yes, this right here, right? Is that what you mean? That's a whole lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. Oh, the mini is still available. Thank you, Anj. I appreciate that for anybody who's interested in this. He's very slippery and slimy looking, says Emily. Yes, this is the Raincoast Tarot Stray Cap. Hi, by the way. Let's see here. What's with the house and the tower? What is with that? Right? I do not have a book for this. I probably have a PDF that I can download. I'm not sure. Simon, you would definitely know. I know. The tower in the background, it's not yet exploded, right? Oh, is that this tower? Ooh, it does look a lot like that tower. So there's about to be some trouble in the background. Let's just say that. I like how it has a womanly boob, or is that just me? Can slightly see it, but it's like the Baphomet. You know, it actually really could be if you really look kind of closely at that, right? So that harkens to that depiction of the devil. The elemental symbol on his arm, Earth, is it? I don't know. That's not the Earth symbol I'm familiar with because I'm used to the triangle versions. But Shane, this card reads really alluring for me. The colors, the way he hides, but he makes eye contact in a way that seems to call out. The expression says, follow with a whole bunch of red flags. Like, I'm warning you, I'm trouble. That's what he's saying to me. Yeah, it's the unexploded tower in the background. You guys are good at this. Do I say that every week? But I don't lie. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm not missing. He's ripped. Okay. Essence. Oh, you guys are talking about tarot studies there. Sorry, guys, not feeling good. Have to go. Okay, bye, Sandra. Hope you feel better. All right, so shall we tackle, unless you guys have other thoughts, our 4th question from John, one of our new tarot playdaters here today. How can I how can I or we grow in our meditation? And then we added / spiritual practice this week. So for those who don't meditate. So how can we grow in our meditation / spiritual practice? How does this guy in particular help you answer that question? Of course, bring your knowledge about the devil card in general, but I'd like to know, what does this guy say to you about that? The raven is warning us not to proceed, says Patrice. Ah, interesting. So this is like a warning not to accept his invitation. Don't go to his house. It's gonna explode later, right? Let's see here. Anj said, sneaky, hiding behind the pillars after the devil. God 7 is considered in many cultures a perfect number. Okay, so it is a 7 then. Oh, interesting. Or very likely to be a 7 anyway. Or his white van. Oh, yikes. Stop hiding behind structure. Oh, that's a good way to look at this, Mindy, right? So don't hide behind like dogmatic structure, maybe even, right? Or rules, right? So how can you best grow in your meditation spiritual practice? Expand beyond that. Be willing to break away, right? Break out, get uncomfortable, as we've been talking about with the devil card. Find a good spot where nobody is watching you. Hide behind a pillar. I don't know. I don't want to feel like I have to go into a spiritual closet. I know many of us feel like we have to. I just can't see that as the advice. My brain rebels. But maybe some of you see it that way. Maybe there's some shadow I need to explore there. Chris says, don't be selective about how much of the picture you see. Ooh, I like that, right? You need to see with both eyes. Ooh, and hear with your ears, and whatever senses you have available to you, use them, right? Not everybody can see well, not everybody can hear well, but we can use the senses that we have to get the big picture, right? Let's see. Selkie says, it could be clear your mind of all disturbing thoughts. Ooh, interesting. A challenge for sure these days, isn't it? Emily, look at where we might be being sneaky or deceptive or egocentric. So look within ourselves, right? Check our own motivations, check our own intentions, right? It might be easier to meditate, to find our spiritual practice, to center ourselves if we're bringing back that honesty thing that we talked about with the Fountain Tarot, right? Ask ourselves how we can do better. Always, Emily. Yes. Let's see. The number 7 is a spiritual number. See, still learning. Every dang day I'm learning. Stray Cat says, I don't find that devil very ominous. Is he calling to you? What do you think about that? Accept the devil side of ourselves, says Kathy. Recognize that we have that side of us. You know, we can't deal with it if we don't acknowledge it. What is it? The first step, right? See, I do still hide in my spiritual closet, says Butterfly Magic. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks I'm actually hidden, though. Now, that's an interesting way to look at it. It's like, oh, I can't see you, so that means you can't see me, right? When you're like, but your whole body is showing, right? Patrice says, don't use spiritual bypassing. Be willing to face our darkness. Yes. Simon, you got booted. Well, I almost got booted myself. I couldn't see chat there for a few minutes, but welcome back. The devil is the ego on steroids, said Jonathan. See, all right. you need to look with both eyes, because with only one you lose depth perception, says Donna, as I was experiencing earlier today. My son does his hiding his eyes things and he thinks he's hidden. It's so cute, says Emily. Essence says, is the devil looking in or is the crow looking out? We see the crow's view, but not the devil's. It's us. Look deeper within to find what the devil is focusing on is us. Interesting. Or in us. Focusing on is us or in us. Either way, thought-provoking. Shane says, the devil. Bye, Sophie Moon Tarot. Thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh, I'm running so late today. The devil seems to be caged with the way that the archways are shown. The crow raven on the outside, the snake on the border, and the devil behind the wall. Okay, I'm going to keep us moving because we are running long today. But like I said, I think we spent almost like 20 minutes on just the first card. All right, the last devil card we have today, and we will answer one final question. And then don't forget, don't go away after that, because we're going to do reversals and give you an activity for the week. And if ever there was a time to do an activity, I bet it's going to be with this one, although I don't remember what the activity is. So, Japaridze Tarot. This should be interesting, huh? All right, let's see what we got. I've only used this deck for about a week, and I don't recall. I forgot to put this one in order last night. Cred. All right, I can find it. Death. Okay. Temperance. Crap. The Tower. Sorry. I thought I had them all ordered last night, and I thought this one was in order. I'm already more than halfway through. Just hang in there. Sorry. Oh, wait. No, Stranger Wins. That's not it. Judge. There it is. That wasn't too long, right? Oh, best flipper. All right. So this is really the colors. Look how similar the colors are. It's really interesting, and lots going on in this one as well. So let me go ahead and pull this one up. Let's get some focus. Let me see. There we go. Lots going on in here as well. This is very abstract to me. The upside down, is that like an upside down bat? What the heck? Or is that just the way they fly? Very interesting. It's very busy. Very chaotic. It might make me slightly uncomfortable. Let's see. Word of advice, start at the back of the deck. It always goes like, well, if only I would have. Thank you, Stray Cat. I love you too, Patrice. You see the towers in this one too. I feel like I did too. I feel like there are multiple towers, right? I feel like there's maybe one here, maybe one over there, a dragon, a clock. Yeah, we're talking about shoes. Instantly, the clock grabbed my attention, right? Anybody's thinking, like, this is not the slogan for this, but it's like, okay, time's up, right? Or the clock is ticking. We got to do something. Bastet says, the card screams, now is the time to get out of this chaos. Move. Do something. Break out of this. This is the Japaridze Tarot, says Stray Cat. Sorry. Yes, we see Claude here. Time is not on your side, says Kathy. Shane says, I don't like this devil, but I do like the devil feels like a constantly shifting entity. It can be anything, be anywhere. Yes, right? So, yeah, I like the idea that we have shifting images and shifting perceptions, and things are not what they seem, right? Or things are what they don't seem to be, because I don't see anything in a lot of ways, right? An odd wheel contraption, noticed Emily. Stray Cat says, I see someone getting pulled into the underworld, right? This card is practically the Tower, says Val. Emily says, it makes me feel uncomfortable for sure. Distorted perception, says Donna. Yes. Kristen says, I sense rage. All right, I'm gonna stay off of the shoes conversation. Hi, Candy Morgan. Nice to see you.